Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now we are continuing our topic of sterilization and disinfection. We have already discussed the physical agents. Now we are going to discuss the chemical agents for sterilization and disinfection. Number one are the gases, including the low temperature steam formaldehyde. It is used to sterilize delicate heat labile equipment. Ethylene oxide. This is extensively used in hospitals for sterilization of heat sensitive materials such as surgical instruments and plastics. It kills by alkylating both proteins and the nucleic acids. Then we have the gas plasma, that is hydrogen peroxide, and it is used to sterilize the invasive surgical endoscopes, and it kills all microorganisms. So it is considered to be sporicidal, bactericidal, virucidal, fungicidal, and mycobactericidal. We have the liquid chemicals like chlorine compounds that act rapidly by releasing of chlorine, which is a powerful oxidizing agent that kills by cross-linking essential sulfhydryl groups in enzymes to inactivate them. The liquid chlorine compounds include bleach and hypochlorites, and it is used to disinfect various blood and body fluid spillage from the patients, disinfection of hard surfaces to purify water and to treat swimming pools. Then we have the aldehydes, including glutaraldehyde and formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is the 37% formalin and acts by denaturing proteins and nucleic acid. And we can have a 2% glutaraldehyde that is used to disinfect heat sensitive items such as the endoscopes. The formaldehyde is used as a gaseous fumigant for lab cabinets and room of patients. So fumigation is a common procedure that is done in hospitals, and the microsurveillance reports depends on the quality of that fumigation that is done overnight, and after that the culture samples are taken from various objects in that room, and then the cultures are done to check whether there is any growth of the organisms in it. We have the phenolics, including lysol and alkuline. These act by disrupting the cell membranes and denaturing proteins. So these are used as environmental disinfectants, like in case of operation rooms, and the laboratory discard jars. The most famous of this group is the Dettol that we are using in routine at home and at our workplaces. Alcohols act by disorganizing the lipid structure in the membranes, and 70% alcohol is basically used to use it as antiseptics basically. That's why it is used to disinfect skin and disinfect physically the clean equipment. We have the iodine and iodophores, including the tincture iodine. 2% tincture iodine is the ideal one, the most effective skin antiseptic used in the medical practice, and it acts as oxidizing agent that inactivates various enzyme proteins. Iodophores are complex of iodine with detergents, and they are used pre-operatively for skin preparations and surgical hand disinfection. We have the chlorhexidines that act by disruption of cell membranes, and they are used as antiseptics for skins and mucous membranes, and they are also used for hand disinfection, and they are combined with alcohols for pre-operative skin disinfection. Chlorhexidine is used in routine in the mouthwash solutions that are available at the pharmacies. We have the detergents and quaternary ammonium compounds, including Savion, cetrimide. They are lipid soluble agents, disrupt cell membranes, and cell membrane lipids through their hydrophobic and hydrophilic portions. They have antibacterial these are the antibacterial compounds with detergent properties, and they are used for cleaning dirty wounds, bed sheets, and clothes. So, and they are also used for hand washing and skin disinfection. We have the hydrogen peroxide that is used as antiseptic to clean wounds and to disinfect the contact lenses. It is an oxidizing agent that inhibits enzymatic activity by attacking sulfhydryl group. The effectiveness is limited by the organism's ability to produce catalase, an enzyme that degrades hydrogen peroxide. Like Staph aureus is having, like the Staphylococci are having those hydrogen that enzyme that is called catalase, and that enzyme is having the property to degrade the hydrogen peroxide. So this hydrogen peroxide will not be effective in case of such organisms. Alcohols act by disorganizing the lipid structure in the membranes, and 70% alcohol is basically used to use it as antiseptics basically. That's why it is used to disinfect skin and disinfect physically the clean equipment. Then we have the dyes. Some disinfectants like staining dyes like crystal violet also inhibit the growth of organisms by denaturing their nucleic acid. The crystal violet is also used as skin antiseptic. We have the heavy metals like mercury and silver nitrate. They act by blocking the enzymatic activity. Widely used in medicine, especially in skin antiseptics. Silver nitrate drops are routinely used in preventing gonococcal ophthalmia neonatal in the neonates. Silver sulfadiazine is used to prevent infections of burn wounds. At last, this is a table just to revise the basic classification of bacteria, and we have three main classes: the thick walled cells, the flexible thin walled cells, and the wall-less cells. So the thick walled cells include free living bacteria and the non-free living bacteria that are obligate intracellular ones. So the free living bacteria are including gram positives and gram negatives. The gram positives include the cocci. Cocci can be streptococci and staphylococci. Then we have the rods that can be aerobic ones like bacilli, and they can be anaerobic like clostridia. Then we have the non-spore forming rods like non-filamentous Corynebacterium diphtheria, there can be listeria, and there can be filamentous gram positive rods like actinomyces and nocardia. Now in case of gram negative bacteria, we have cocci like genus Neisseria members like Neisseria gonorrhoeae and Neisseria meningitidis. Then we have the gram negative rods. Gram negative rods can be facultative ones, they can be aerobic and they can be anaerobic. So the facultative can be straight rods like the respiratory organisms, zoonotic organisms, and enteric and related organisms. That would be including all these examples that are in front of you. And there can be curved rods like Campylobacter, Helicobacter. There can be, and about the aerobic ones, we have Pseudomonas aeruginosa is the example of strict aerobe organism, and the example for strict anaerobe are the Bacteroides. And after these cocci and rods, these gram negative and positive categories, we have the acid fast bacilli. The most important example for this category is the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, or maybe Mycobacterium leprae. These are the acid fast organisms. Regarding non-free living bacteria, we have Rickettsia and Chlamydia. So these are the examples of the rigid thick walled cells. And about the flexible thin walled cells, we have Treponema, Borrelia, and Leptospira as the basic examples. And there is only one important example for the pathogens in the category of wall-less bacteria is the Mycoplasma. Mycoplasma is related to the atypical pneumonia, and it is the only known example for those bacteria regarding those bacteria that are not having any cell wall. We have the detergents and quaternary ammonium compounds, including Savion, cetrimide. They are lipid soluble agents, disrupt cell membranes and cell membrane lipids through their hydrophobic and hydrophilic quotients. They have antibacterial and these are the antibacterial compounds with detergent properties, and they are used for cleaning dirty wounds, bed sheets, and clothes. So, and they are also used for hand washing and skin disinfection.